Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode we're going to be playing a bit of a fun list that I didn't fully come up with myself. Strange enough, a bit different to yesterday's video where it was a list straight up stolen from another player. What I've gone for this time is I asked my fiancée Sarah to pick a bunch of units of every cost ranging from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then one unit that cost either 6 or 7. And what we have here is those and the captain that she picked, and I've taken the last 4 slots upon myself to try and figure out how I want to sort of complement the list that she created. So, funnily enough, this list actually ended up fairly coherent. So we've started off with Gardner Joe. So Gardner Joe is fairly defensive, about making a good position and that sort of thing, and it's good for triggering other abilities like, who we'll come to later, Flurry. So Gardner Joe, a very powerful captain, good utility, but not always, you need to build around it fairly well. So what we went through in order was, first up, she picked Stitchy McPatchy, so we've got a bit of healing, a bit of long game, we can work around that. Joe works quite well with long game anyway. Next up we've got Beatrice, so Beatrice, again, more healing with Stitchy, with Joe's Nourish, not Nourish, it is Nourish. Nourish as well, getting more and more value out of that armour as well. We've got Rickety Backfire. So Rickety is probably a little bit out of the ordinary in terms of what we'd usually want in this sort of list, but it is something we can definitely work with. We've got Chuck and Co, who actually works well with both Rickety Backfire and our next pick Flurry, which is great to see as well. And then the last pick was Dr. Feelbad. So Feelbad actually surprisingly works quite well with a few of the units that Sarah picked as well. So we've got Rickety Backfire, Beatrice Enforcer and Flurry all doing AoE damage. So between those and the Thornvines, it could actually work out quite well. So with 4 picks to sort of balance this out and make it a little bit more viable, I went for, first of all, just the easy early game. I don't really want to be playing Stitchy turn 1 almost any of the time, and so I want to play Deadeye most of the time, and Maximus and Deadeye if I'm going second. So I went for that as an easy option. And then Beatrice, positioning can be quite difficult in the early game, so again with Joe, you need to get into position early. So I thought, why not worry about positioning twice over when actually I could just pick Detonia and leave Beatrice for a bit later on when I need some sort of roadblock. Also works well with having multiple 1-drops, so we can take a 2-drop and a 1-drop on turn 3 or something similar. And lastly, because we've got some good AoE and we've got Flurry, who we want to trigger a bit more often, I want to go for Shrapnel. So I really enjoy Shrapnel, it's one of my favourite units. I think, a lot less tough than she used to be because that armour effectiveness has been reduced because it's all the damage has risen in the game. And also I think she actually got a slight health nerf. She's not quite as tough as she used to be, but she puts out a lot of damage. With 3 damage in AoE is somewhat mad. So this is actually quite a fun list. I actually recorded a video for this previously, and unfortunately there was a few technical issues. I ended up with no sound whatsoever. So you've got me re-recording this. I did win that game, so this is the second game I've played with this list, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. If you enjoy this, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us on Patreon. But for now, we've got Zwackelman173 as our opponent, playing an awesome looking Zax. What I like is that they've clearly gone over the Zax body, but kept it very similar to the original hologram. But the actual the model of the hologram projector itself is quite sort of the black and yellow vibe is quite a cool one. Yet again on this map, we were on this map yesterday, and positioning is hard on this because the thing is we can't punish anyone early on, and we do need to contest these points. So I actually think this map really isn't good for Joe. I think Joe's going to struggle a lot almost every time. So there's the Maximus, yeah. So we also can't really defend against Maximus. So what we're just going to do is just take some hits, and we're going to try and just move up fairly aggressively. We're going to put both our own Maximus and Deadeye down here, trying to be as safe as possible, but we want to be in Nourish range. We have to go slightly further back actually, because we've positioned badly. And then we're just going to speed all of us up. This gives us a bit of power here, so they're only going to be able to do effectively 1 damage to each of these, or to either of these with Maximus. Obviously they can also do some with Zax as well, but it's not impossible that they have a bit of a miss here. So I'm okay with this. This isn't the worst situation. Last time we played against Astra and they got to double tap. Hang on a minute, have they got a theme going on? This is like... No, not quite. This is like Mardu colours if you played Magic the Gathering. So we've got Mardu, Zax, and... Okay, well doing the mine now doesn't do anything. So we're okay with that. And that actually just incentivizes me to Ooh, the miss is nice as well. So we can decide if we want to go aggressively or defensively. We're probably just going to use... Oh, that's Saria. Okay, so we want to be fairly aggressive. We're just going to use our own plants to destroy that, I think. I don't think there's any reason to do anything else. And I'll be honest, in this situation, Detonia looks quite like a nice takeaway to have here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move in here and then just try and get one hit and go take this point away a little bit. So we'll just shoot Maximus a little bit, hopefully hit both, which we did get, which is perfect. We're not going to use Deadeye's ability if we can avoid it. And we can deploy Detonia, but actually I think maybe Beatrice is right here, and we just go for an aggressive take on that front. We can't really go over here and feel safe about it, so let's just frustrate Maximus a little bit while staying out of range of Detonia. We will deploy our plant, and it's literally just going to be here to set off that mine. Head ourselves over here, save a little bit of effort. Again, fertilize doesn't need to be on us as much, but we will get there. And then it's either Detonia or Beatrice, but I actually just think sticking Beatrice in here really does sort of shore this whole section up a bit for us. It would have been nice if we could go here and get the defensive buff from this, but what I wanted more than that was to block the line of sight a little bit easier. So come to think that Maximus can run down here, but at least it stops them hitting our Maximus. So if you're a newer player, this is one thing that I recommend you try and avoid doing, and that is just using the grav disc on a mine that's already placed, because we can just easily poke this mine and kill it. You know, it's not going to be something that we're too worried about. We can ignore it, we can move away. Doing it the turn when it's active is much more valuable. So they're going to deploy something here. This looks like maybe another Beatrice, or oh, they could be blocking their own unit in here. Not quite, no, that's going to have plenty of space. Okay, so they've got Jailbreak. That's kind of fine. Like, the mine wouldn't hit Jailbreak anyway, but we can just play around this fairly well. If they move here, Maximus is dead. Okay, well, we're just going to kill Maximus now. We're not worried about anything else whatsoever than just killing Maximus. Saria protecting their captain is not something we're worried about. Are we actually in... Yeah, we are locked down, because we are in base contact. So, I don't really get why we wouldn't just do this and just take this out. So we'll just... We'll take these shots first. No sense in worrying about anything else. Move back here. Again, pop in here and just kill Maximus. We haven't got much to worry about right now, but I think we're going to in the future. So she is touching there, but hitting that back doesn't do much. We can move up here and just protect ourselves and stay out of range there.
What is this armor made of?
Do you know what? Honestly, I think planting a Thornvine over here could be a good idea. And then, honestly, I think we just want to Rickety back here as well. And fertilize. We can choose to melee if we want. We'll just melee that, it doesn't matter. We're going to Ozos Maximus. He's got more chance of getting angles on things. This is going to set off, because we're obviously in base contact with it. But we at least protect ourselves a little bit. We should be taking damage here. I'm not sure what's happened there. We haven't taken any damage from the mine? That's very interesting. So now we're putting the hurt onto them. Mines are still 3 damage. We had armor, but... Has anyone got an answer for that? I'm going to blame Mar. Mar is the one of the developers who is very regularly blamed for everything, basically. But I feel like in this case, we can blame Mar. There isn't really anything to do with Rickety here, other than maybe saving up a little bit. Okay, this is fine. If we die here somehow, then that's okay. But if not, this should have been a Detonia. Detonia would be really useful in this situation. Again, the grouping now, this isn't the right choice. Like, you'd be better off doing something different. If we had a ambush unit, we'd be popping it back here and just getting value over here, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. But right now, we're just going to keep putting a bit of hurt over here and just leaving it be, to be honest. So this mine's going to explode next turn, which is fine because it's going to hit their hit and run as well. So actually, we can just go for hit and run and kill it with the mine. So if we pop over here, now we can Ozos ourselves and just go for hit and run. And we can bring Maximus in to do his little game as well.
Catch me if you can.
Do we go that direction or not? I think no, but I think we do go over here. We can potentially just kill this as well. So I think maybe we go for this and just try and get the kill. This would be 2 units in 1 turn, which would be great. Okay, that is good news for us. Because Beatrice is actually going to potentially live now. What if we put Beatrice over... She's going to be in range no matter what. We can't stop her taking the hit, so we'll just fertilise over here. We're gonna move this way. We're gonna pop Chuck down over here and frustrate that objective slightly. And we'll pop a Thornvine down as well. We need this here to trigger this, basically. We could have put a Thornvine down, but there was nowhere we could move that I think would get us fully out of the way of this. So we're happy just to trade Beatrice in exchange for the hit and run there. So now we're actually in a good position in terms of board state. And what we're trying to do is keep Maximus over here to have a different angle. And with this different angle... Hang on. Oh, I thought we had a burn animation for a second. I think maybe it's the same animation from the explosion at the burn. But we're going to try and use Maximus's mobility to gradually work our way to this point, and hopefully just get a bit of extra value out of that so that we don't just start losing the points game. Because right now we're actually scoring points that they aren't, and given that we've got Chuck here, we can play Flurry into place and hopefully just do, have a bit of value next turn. Oh, actually, I forgot that Fertilized soil happens at the start of the turn, so we should have placed it here. This is Arya? If they place Arya here without killing Rickety, we're just going to give Rickety the free kill onto Arya. Like, there's a very good chance that he just kills Arya outright. I mean, getting a second activation out of this is absurd. I mean, this wouldn't do anything. Chuck and Co. We could try and get a good angle, but I actually just think... I just think killing the Arya, honestly. Like, I don't see any reason to do anything other than just try and shoot Arya. Because if we don't explode, we don't die. And we can just kill her, try and kill her with something else. So for instance, Deadeye now can just come around here and kill her. We can move Zhou in to continue the blocking, and the healing rather. How are we looking for accuracy over here? So we can go all the way up here and get like... I think killing Savria or poking Savria is more valuable than other things at the moment. So we're just going to move over this direction. Chuck is just going to toss the mine away, I think. Oh. What do we want to Chuck? I mean, that gives Savria free damage. Let's just toss the mine away from some of our things. We're going to pop Flurry down over here, maybe? Let's go Flurry over here. Why not? We'll fertilise all of this soil and we'll plant ourselves a Thornvine. Actually, no Thornvines. Thornvines are a liability into Zax, so we're kind of just not on board for that. But we're okay with Flurry because we're here to have fun. Deadeye's actually keeping us going here, so... Sure, I mean, they want to get the mine in as well, I think, because this is only going to be a 1 damage to each unit. And I don't think we're that fussed. Like, we need to deal with Detonia. Like, hitting Flurry is fine, because it would kill... Yeah, Flurry would damage all round, which is funny. This doesn't do anything now, because they haven't got the mine involved. So I'm not really sure what that's accomplishing. But if we can then just move over and deal with Flurry... Yeah, so now they're just going to place another mine, I imagine. If they place one, like, just about here to... Oh, they missed! Oh, it was like my miss yesterday, 97%. So their best bet now is to place a mine somewhere safe, but what we're going to do is we're going to chuck Flurry towards Zax and just start trying to deal some damage that way, or we could even just try and find another way to chuck in this direction, start killing units in a big old AoE fashion. I think so. We should have 6 next turn, so both Shrapnel and Detonia are options, but we need to lose units for that to be worthwhile. Oh, okay. OP may not have realised what's about to happen here. We're going to deal a lot of damage, so the first thing we want to do is try and get someone else involved in this damage party, because if there's any chance that we can get like Detonia over there, can we toss her? No, not quite. Well, let's just hit her anyway. Yeah, tossing doesn't work, unfortunately. Gardner Joe needs to move right out of the way of this. Is Chopping Ingredients going to be out of the way there? Yes, it will. And I guess the first thing we do here is just... I mean, we could just hit the mine. Sure. Let's move slightly further back. So can we get... Okay. This is important placement, actually, because if we can get far enough back that we trigger that... Okay, right, let's just go with move, and we need to get this quite right. So we want it so that we're not in the mine range, but still in range of their flurry. So that looks about right. We'll then shoot the mine. Look at this. Oh my god, this is fantastic. We'll move up here, shoot here, move over here, deploy something. Shrapnel somewhere. Anywhere. I forgot, I got distracted by things going funny. I got too distracted by awesome stuff that I neglected to just carry on. The flurry battle's fantastic. Yeah, sure, they can go for this here, but they don't have enough of a chain to really make us die, I don't think. Like, it's possible they could do. Yeah, so we're going to take a bunch of damage here. But then there's not really much... They can move and shoot with Zax. And that does another 3. But then on the backswing, we've got so much damage coming onto them, and they've taken out Flurry, so they've not got any more means to use that burst. Like, we're going to use Rickety over here to hopefully go for 5. We should have 3 here, 2 here, so that's 10. And then we've got a couple of different ways of getting 1 damage. So Maximus should be very dead here. This is absolutely fine if this is what they go for, a bit of a heal. Or, sorry, protection rather. We will try and use Maximus to chip that off. But if not, we'll just use other things. It's not the end of the world. They don't have a jailbreak, so this doesn't matter what it is too much. It's a Toxoid, okay. So can we get anything good out of this? We've got 93% to hit there. I mean, if this hits, this is the only important thing, and then we just go ham. Although this is this not protected anymore? I can't tell if that's protected. Let's not take any risks and just go for the best angle we can get over here. I saw a 61 for a second. There we go. So hitting one of these would be perfect. There we go. Got one of them. So even if there was a flaw there, that's sorted that out. We can blow ourselves up, that's fine. Oh, I definitely made sure we were out of range of that. So we actually need to hit this, which is funny. We do. Okay, we're all good. Like, I definitely made sure that that was out. Wait, what? Did we literally just fail that? Are you joking? Right, well, Chuck and Co can come over and finish us off, but I could have sworn we had like 100%. Oh dear. Well, there we have it. We've got ourselves a game through with this list, and again, this wasn't built by me, this was just built by Sarah, my fiance, picking her favourite units and just saying, you know, what she thought looked the coolest. She hasn't really seen much of the game, she's watched a couple of videos here and there, but she doesn't know the mechanics, she doesn't know what things do, so really fun list that we managed to play with there. I enjoyed it quite a lot, hopefully you guys did too. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us over on Patreon. Anything you can do to support the channel is really, really appreciated. And for now, thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.